Find each product. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Now today, you see 4 threes there. We're going to write that as 3 to the 4th power. Well, we want to know what that actual number is. So, hey, remember our associative property of multiplication? You can multiply in any order. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 9 is 81. I see a negative times negative. That'll turn positive. 4 times 4 is 16. Times a negative 4. Positive times negative is negative. 16 times 4 is negative 64. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. 10 times 10, 100. 10 times 10, 100. 100 times 100, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10,000. Great. Let's get into exponents. The different parts of an exponent. You see this 2? That's our base. Then it's got a little number up and to the right. That's your exponent. So they call the whole set a power. And the way you would read this would be 2 to the 6th power. So 2 to the 6th power means 2 times itself 6 times. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. I think I said it 6 times there. So write an expression using an exponent. Negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. There's 3 of them. So this would be negative 5 to the 3rd. Now you're going to want to put it in parentheses here. Because if you just wrote it like this is like saying the opposite of 5 to the 3rd. Now, 5 to the 3rd power is 125. So if I said, like, figure out this actual number, they both work out to negative 125, but it's very important when you are writing it to an exponent that you put it in parentheses if it is negative. So here on B, we have combining our like terms. This is our only negative 2. So because it's negative 2 to the 1st power, we don't even need to write to the 1st power, and we don't need to put it in parentheses because it doesn't make a difference. It's to the 1st power. We have a times a times a to the 3rd, and then we have b to the 1st. So you just write b, negative 2, a to the 3rd, b. Remember, you don't write the exponent if it's to the 1st power. So let's try a few more here. 6 times 6 times 6. They're all 6s, so it'd be 6 to the 3rd power. Here we have just the 4. And then it's good practice to put your variables alphabetically. So x comes before y in the alphabet, and there's only the one x. And then we have 2 of the y's, so y squared. Remember, there's an invisible 1 on the 4 to the 1st. Same with the x. So that's technically saying 4 to the 1st times x to the 1st times y to the 2nd. And here these are all negative 3's, and there's 4 of them. So we'd say negative 3 to the 4th power. Now this, I want to illustrate my point. I was trying to make it earlier with the negative 5 to the 3rd. But this makes a huge difference than this. Negative 3 in parentheses to the 4th means that the negative 3 is there each time. So it means negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, just like you see above. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. 9 times 9 is 81. You're like, sure, okay, whatever. But here, when it's not in parentheses, this is like saying the opposite of 3 to the 4th. So like the opposite of 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 9 is 81. So it's like it's saying the opposite of 81, which is negative 81. So you need to be really careful when it has an even exponent and it's negative to put it in parentheses. Because if it is not in parentheses, that would make your final answer negative. A microscope can magnify a specimen 10 to the 3rd power times. How many times is that? Well, 10 to the 3rd means 10 times 10 times 10. So I know 10 times 10 is 100 times another 10. We're just putting another 0 on that. So it would be 1,000 times. Simplify 7 to the second power. Well, 7 to the second power means 7 times itself twice. 7 times 7 is 49. That wasn't too bad. Evaluate negative a to the fourth and parentheses negative a to the fourth for a equals 2. So we're substituting in 2 here. So it'd be negative 2 to the fourth and negative 2 to the fourth. Again, sounds very similar, but will give us different answers. If it is in parentheses, that means the negative is being multiplied each time. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Over here, it's saying the opposite of 2 to the fourth. So the opposite of 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So this is saying the opposite of 16, which is negative 16. Over here, negative 2 times negative 2 goes to positive 4. This negative 2 times negative 2 goes to positive 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So look, one answer came out negative, one answer came out positive. It'll come out positive if the negative is in parentheses and it has an even exponent. It'll come out negative no matter what if it's not in parentheses like that. So if it's negative and it's not in parentheses, it doesn't matter if the exponent is even or odd, it's going to come out negative. Be careful on that because that does goof a lot of people up. Now we're bringing back the order of operations. When we did it earlier, we skipped things with exponents. Now we're bringing in the exponents. So remember your PEMDAS. Parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication and division left to right, and then addition and subtraction left to right. So simplify 4 times 3 plus 2 squared. First thing we're going to do is make sure the door is nice and squeaky. Then we're going to do our parentheses. 3 plus 2 would give us 5. So we have 4 times 5 to the second power. Now 4 to 5 means 4 times 5. Here you have 5 to the second power. What comes next in your order of operations? The exponents. So first we're going to do 5 to the second power, which means 5 times 5, which is 25. So we're left with 4 times 25, which gives us 100. And the last type of problem we're going to have is evaluating with the order of operations. So they give us what to put in for x and y, and then we just need to use our order of operations to solve. Important to put it in parentheses when you substitute it in. So x, they said, is negative 2, and y is 3. Now the parentheses in this case just mean multiplication, so then we go to our exponents. Negative 2 to the third. It's in parentheses, but it wouldn't make a difference here because of the odd exponent. So it would be negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, times negative 2 would give you negative 8. So this part that's circled in red comes out to negative 8. So we have negative 2 times negative 8 plus 4 times 3. Let me move this down a minute. Left to right, negative 2 times negative 8 is 16. 4 times 3 is 12. 16 plus 12 is 28. Splendid.